Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Providence City Council on this Thursday, February 19th. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Council President Miller.
Present.
Deputy Majority Whip Anderbois.
Present.
Councilor Davidson.
Present.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Present.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Present.
Councilwoman Peterson. Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Present.
Councilor Royas is absent. Councilwoman Ryan.
Present.
Majority Whip Sanchez.
Present.
Councilman Taylor.
Present.
Councilwoman Ana Vargas. Councilman Oscar Vargas.
Present.
You have 14 present and 1 absent. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This evening, the invocation will be led by Majority Leader Pedro Espinal. Will everyone please rise, including our guests?
Thank you, Madam President. Dear Lord, we come to you tonight together to ask for your blessings, to ask that you guide us as we prepare to do the people's business. In you we trust. Amen.
Thank you. And the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilman John Goncalves.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, item 3, please.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 3 and move approval.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
Councilwoman Graves and Councilwoman Peterson, can you please vote? And the vote is now closed. You have 15 ayes. The minutes are approved.
Madam Clerk, please note that Councilman Royas has joined us.
So noted.
Item 4.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 4 through 20 and substitute item number 12.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on items 4 through 20? Councilwoman Peterson.
Thank you. I just wanted to take a quick minute to congratulate a Ward 14 member. Mr. Felix Berrios is going to be a part of the, once he's sworn in, be a part of the Ethics Commission, and I'm really proud to be able to garner that, to provide that support for him. He is a born and raised Providence constituent and a member of the Mount Pleasant High School Kilties, and he is one of those people that you know that wants to contribute back because he received so much and he wants to pay it forward. And I'm just really happy to be able to support the community members that really want to come back and do more for our community again. So congratulations, Felix. We're going to take a quick picture at the end, so I hope that everybody stays and does it. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Further discussion on items 4 through 20. Councilman Goncalves.
Thank you, Madam President. I wasn't prepared to speak, but I do want to just thank everybody who is here and who is going to be serving the city of Providence. I know we have many people that are going to be appointed to the Art and City Life Commission, as well as the Downtown Design Review Committee, as well as some of the other positions that we have available with the Historic District Commission. And I just want to thank each and every person who is here, who's willing to serve in this capacity in the city, and we just want to thank you for all that you'll continue to do. So if we could just give them a round of applause for their service in advance. And thank you for serving. We can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Councilman. Further discussion on items 4 through 20. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Madam Clerk, please note 4 through 16 as received. Item 17, please refer to the Committee on Finance, as well as 18 and 19 to the Committee on Finance, and item 20, note as received.
So noted.
Item 21.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 21 and pass for the second time in a roll call vote.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on item 21? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll.
The vote is open. Council President Miller.
Aye.
Deputy Majority Whip Anderbaugh. Councilor Davidson.
Aye.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Aye.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peterson. Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Aye.
Councilor Royas.
Sorry, Clerk, just a clarification, this is a motion.
This is a motion to
Oh,
approve
nay.
the first time.
Nay.
Nay. Councilwoman Ryan.
Aye.
Majority Whip Sanchez.
Aye.
Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ana Vargas. Councilman Oscar Vargas. You have 14 ayes and 1 nay. The motion carries. The matter is approved for the second time on a roll call vote, and the vote is closed.
Thank you. Item 22,
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 22 and pass for the second time in a roll call vote.
Second, Madam President.
Any discussion on item 22? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll.
The vote is open. Council President Miller.
Aye.
Deputy Majority Whip Anderbaugh. Councilor Davidson.
Aye.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Aye.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peterson.
One abstain.
Abstain. Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Aye.
Councilor Royas.
Nay.
Councilwoman Ryan.
Aye.
Majority Whip Sanchez. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ana Vargas.
Aye.
Councilman Oscar Vargas.
Aye.
You have 13 ayes, 1 nay, 1 abstention. The motion carries. The matter is passed for the second time on a roll call vote. And Councilman Taylor, can you put in your electronic vote? Thank you. And the vote is closed.
Item 23,
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 23 and pass for the second time in a roll call vote.
Second, Madam President.
Any discussion on item 23? Councilwoman Graves? No. Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll.
The vote is open. Council President Miller.
Aye.
Deputy Majority Whip Anderbaugh. Councilor Davidson.
Aye.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Aye.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peterson.
Nay.
Nay. Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Aye.
Councilor Royas.
Nay.
Councilwoman Ryan.
Aye.
Majority Whip Sanchez. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ana Vargas.
Aye.
Councilman Oscar Vargas.
Aye.
You have 12 ayes and 3 nays. The motion passes. The matter is passed for the second time on a roll call vote.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 24,
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 24 and pass for the second time in a roll call vote.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on item 24? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll.
The vote is open. Council President Miller.
Aye.
Deputy Majority Whip Anderbaugh. Councilor Davidson.
Aye.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Aye.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peterson.
Aye.
Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Aye.
Councilor Royas.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryan.
Aye.
Majority Whip Sanchez. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ana Vargas.
Aye.
Councilman Oscar Vargas.
Aye.
You have 15 ayes. The motion carries. The matter is passed for the second time on a roll call vote, and the vote is closed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 25,
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 25.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Madam Clerk, please refer item 25 to the Committee on Finance.
So noted.
Item 26,
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 26 through 28 and pass on a voice vote.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on items 26 through 28?
Madam President, may the clerk read the resolution?
Item 28, please, Madam Clerk.
28.
Whereas throughout the world and throughout the span of history, women have excelled in every vocation and walk of life without regard to race, religion, or background, and have invaluably contributed to the welfare and prosperity of their families, communities, and societies. And whereas, despite their invaluable contributions, evincing their equal and innate humanity and capacity, barriers persist to true and full gender equality in all aspects of life and across the world. And whereas, women have nevertheless persisted in advancement and advocacy, increasing educational, occupational, and political representation while championing their own rights as well as those of all people. And whereas, the state of Rhode Island has long been and remains home to women of extraordinary courage, resilience, and fortitude who have resisted injustice and striven to realize the possibility of a better world. Among them, Anne Hutchinson, the 102 strikers of the 1824 Slater Mill strike, Mary H. Dickerson, and Mary Ann Sorrentino. And whereas, Providence itself has long been and remains home to women of equal character and fortitude who have likewise devoted themselves to the struggle for equality and justice. Among them, Christiana Carteau Bannister, Eleanor Eldridge, Elizabeth Buffum Chase, Grace Lee Boggs, Leslie C. Doonan, and the advocates of the Women XN Project. And whereas such a legacy of committed advocacy can be witnessed in the history of the Providence City Council itself, including Carolyn Brassel, the first woman to serve, Belbina Young, the first Black woman to serve, and Carmen Castillo and Sabina Matos, the first Latina women to serve, and Evelyn Fargnoli, the first woman to serve as council president. And whereas the current membership of the Providence City Council is a living embodiment of that legacy with its female majority, including Council President Rachel Miller, Deputy Majority Leader Mary Kay Harris, and Deputy Majority Whip Sue Anderbois. And whereas, amid the retrenchments of rights, protections, opportunities, and supports for women and girls, both domestically and internationally, such acts should prompt meaningful reflection on the interconnection of rights and opportunities. And whereas, it is incumbent upon people of good conscience to take stock of the present moment and to recommit themselves to the restoration, advancement, and protection of the rights of and opportunities for women and girls, knowing that all rights and freedoms will prove fragile when they are readily and swiftly rescinded from veritably one half of society. And whereas the Providence City Council wishes unwaveringly and unerringly to honor its forebears in and to acknowledge its vital role in the empowerment of the women and girls of Providence. Now therefore be it resolved that the Providence City Council hereby recognizes March 8, 2026 as International Women's Day. Be it further resolved that the Providence City Council will celebrate and honor women and girls during a special event to be held on March 13, 2026 in the City Council chamber. Be it further resolved that the Providence City Council hereby reaffirms its commitment to the furtherance of social, political, and economic equality for women, the assurance of the safety and welfare of all women, and the pursuit of policies guaranteeing and expanding the rights and opportunity of women and girls.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Discussion. Councilwoman Davidson.
Thank you, Madam President. And I am honored to be part of the celebration of International Women's Day. I want to invite everybody to the celebration that we will be having here. The City Council is very excited to sponsor the celebration slight clarification. The date has moved to March 20th. So Friday, March 20th, in the evening, we will be doing a wonderful celebration of the vibrant women of this city, put on by the vibrant women and men of this council. And I invite everybody to join us. We'll have fabulous food, local businesses featured, and it really is a moment for all of us to stop, celebrate everything that we have done together, and to think carefully about how to make sure that the future is bright for all of our women and girls. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Further discussion, Councilwoman Vargas.
Thank you for the opportunity to give it. Yeah, I'm be a part too for the Women International. It's my pleasure to be invited for all the community. Not only for the women, the men can come in too, and have a see all the women can have it, very good and go forward. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Further discussion, Councilman Sanchez.
Thank you, Madam President. On behalf of all the dudes on the City Council, I just want to highlight and thank you all so much. It's such a great honor to serve with each and all of you, 8 of you guys. This is exactly what most legislative bodies should look like across the country. I think we would be in a much better position if the Providence City Council representation ratio was the goal across the country, because you guys lead in a very courageous, transparent, bold, compassionate, empathetic way. And as a mama's boy, I'll always uplift the powerful women in my life. So truly, it's an honor. Council President, of course, all the clerks, you guys are in the fight with us just as much. All the amazing women in our council office, we would not be where we are without you guys leading the way. So thank you all very much.
Noted. Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Anderbaugh.
I just also want to rise and acknowledge Councilwoman Mary Kay Harris, who has shepherded the celebration of International Women's Day for her whole time on council, and I'm just... I'm very grateful, and I think many of us are very grateful for all of your hard work and for including each and every one of us in the celebration over the last several years. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion, items 26 through 28. Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
The vote is open. Councilor Reyes? The vote is now closed. That is 15 ayes for items 26 through 28, which are passed on a voice vote.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 29.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 29 and 30.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on items 29 and 30? Majority Leader.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Item 29, we just put in this resolution because of the volume of calls, being that the ripped-up bus stops were not being treated in the right way, and which endangers our constituents and the people of Providence. So this goes to as a reminder to rip that they need to do a better job when it snows this much. Thank you.
Further discussion? 29 and 30. Councilwoman Anderbaugh.
I would also like to add, so thank you for putting this in, Majority Leader and Pro Tem, and also if we could include in it asking the state government to fully fund RIPTA, because I think that's been part of the problem with their ability to actually do the work. I know that in my neighborhood there were like RIPTA workers out there themselves just shoveling who weren't part of the crew, just trying to make the bus stops accessible. So I think asking the state government to fully fund our bus system is an important part of that as well.
Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Madam Clerk, please refer item 29 to the Committee on Public Works and item 30 to the Special Committee on State Legislative Affairs.
So noted.
Item 31.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 31, substitute and pass for the first time and a roll call vote as amended.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Councilwoman Anderbaugh.
Thank you, Council President. I rise both to speak on this, but also to offer an additional friendly amendment that I think is germane. Should I read that into the record right now or ask the clerks to?
That would be great if you would
Yeah.
like to, sure.
And then I'll explain what has changed since the last, but you have it before you, council folks. Section 8 is the new, and it's just, so I'll read it out loud and then I'll explain what it is. The provisions of this ordinance shall not apply to the state and federally funded lead service line replacement programs of the Providence Water Supply Board or a successor entity created by law, provided that it shall obtain a permit to alter, install, or upgrade equipment located upon or under any public street or upon any private property and pays the applicable permit fee. And I offer this friendly amendment as well as wait, do I stop there? Okay, then I'll just rise and explain some of these other things. That is to acknowledge that the replacement of our lead service lines, I believe constitutes kind of an emergency, and emergency repairs have been exempted from this ordinance overall. And so at the request both of Providence Water and also some of our fellow council people, Pro Tem Pichardo and Councilman Vargas, Chairman Vargas, really wanted to make sure that we weren't hindering the ability for us to replace these lead lines, which we have federal funding to do, and will be done in kind of a time-limited way and as a public health emergency. I also just want to note a few other things that have changed about this ordinance since we last saw it and since it was passed by the committee, and I'm grateful to the members of the Special Committee on the Environment for reviewing this with me, and also to members of the mayor's team and the many folks who work for public utilities for their thoughtful engagement. Our neighbors really deserve transparency and accountability when their streets are torn up, and I think most of us, hopefully all of us, can agree that that's currently not happening. And this is really just trying to address that, provide more transparency and openness and accountability, that they have they have plans for what they're going to do to clean up at the end of every day, and that they're giving a heads up to our neighbors when they'll be tearing up, pardon me, the streets that our residents own. Sorry. I'm like choking on my own business here. And so the other things that were updated, we're just going to receive these plans. We don't have to approve them. We wanted to avoid any delays in getting important work done. And then Providence Water will not experience any fines or fees since they're a quasi city agency, but also other other corporate entities will receive fines or fees if they do not comply, which I think is important. And we also updated the implementation timeline so that DPW would have the appropriate amount of time to update their permitting process so they can actually implement this, because there's no point in us doing this if they're not going to actually implement it. So I'm really excited about where this stands. I think our neighbors really need it and have been asking me for this for a long time. And I think we've heard a lot and made adjustments to make it implementable and fair to our utilities.
Thank you, Councilor. Further discussion on item 31.
Madam President?
Pro Tem.
I just want to rise and commend Chairwoman Sue Andoba for her work. I know this has been for a couple of years, a lot of meetings, and also to be amenable to this resolution. As you pointed out, that when we're driving through our streets and the repair crews are out there, we just want some proper notification. But also, in addition to that, we know that Providence Water is one of our entities that we appreciate, particularly when it comes to our water, but to create less barriers when they are providing the lead replacement of the water lines in the city of Providence. So thank you for your leadership, and thanks to my colleague Oscar Vargas. We sit on the Providence Water Board, and we're here to make sure that things flow the right way and create a better city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilman Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam President. I also just want to echo those remarks and thank Chairwoman Anderbois for her leadership. This is something that we often hear about, particularly on places like South Main Street in our ward, where those streets are constantly undergoing work, and we hear from our businesses and our local constituents there about how that can be such a disruption. So shooting for that transparency and making sure that people are notified well in advance is the right thing to do. And I just want to thank you again, Councilwoman Anderbois, for your leadership.
Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll.
The vote is open. Council President Miller.
Aye.
Deputy Majority Whip Anderbois. Councilor Davidson.
Aye.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Aye.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peterson. Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Aye.
Councilor Royas.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryan.
Aye.
Majority Whip Sanchez.
Aye.
Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ana Vargas.
Aye.
Councilman Oscar Vargas.
Aye.
You have 15 ayes. The motion carries. The matter is approved for the first time on a roll call vote as amended.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 32,
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 32 through 34 and pass for the first time on a roll call vote.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on items 32 through 34?
Yes. Madam President, thank you so much. This item returning from Committee on Ordinance, and I just want to thank my committee members for their due diligence and such a great job that they did on vetting each one of these items. One of them is just the realignment of zoning with the state laws, and we also have the design review, which was a great piece of legislation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilwoman Ryan.
Thank you, Council President. I'm pleased to have sponsored this important legislation. I'm rising to speak on item 34, along with my colleague, Councilman Goncalves. Providence wants and needs new development, especially new housing, to meet the needs of current and future residents. As the city continues to grow its housing stock, it is essential, reasonable, and responsible to ensure that new development fits within our existing neighborhoods and complements the built environment that our residents care so deeply about. Scale, massing, and architectural details matter. They shape how buildings relate to the street, to nearby homes and businesses, and to the overall character of a neighborhood. These design standards directly implement a clear directive in the city's comprehensive plan, which calls for new design regulations in residential and neighborhood commercial areas that improve design quality without unnecessarily increasing construction costs or extending review timelines. The comprehensive plan also called for the creation of an ad hoc committee for developers, architects, designers, preservationists, and community stakeholders to help guide this work. That committee was established, and its input meaningfully shaped the standards that are before us this evening. The planning department fulfilled the goals set out in the comprehensive plan and produced practical, predictable rules that address common design concerns while still supporting housing production. The standards focus on fundamentals such as building, entries, facades, proportions, and materials for both small and large projects, with the intent of discouraging low-quality design choices that do not serve our neighborhoods well. These standards were discussed extensively during the comprehensive plan process and were identified by residents as a priority as Providence grows. The ordinance has been reviewed by the City Plan Commission and received positive feedback as a balanced approach that supports development while improving design outcomes. Importantly, the standards are structured to maintain affordability, provide clarity for applicants, and avoid unnecessary delays in the review process. This proposal is the result of the city's inclusive stakeholder engagement and responds directly to the residents concerned about design quality and many of our concerns as well, while remaining aligned with the city's housing and growth goals. I urge my colleagues to look favorably on this ordinance and support its adoption, as it is a thoughtful, plan-driven step forward for Providence. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion. Councilman Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to echo those remarks and really thank Councilwoman Ryan for her stewardship and leadership of this particular ordinance. Thank you, Councilwoman Ryan. You have worked incredibly hard on this, and many of us have historic districts in our ward, and for our neighbors to have something that is tangible but also allows them to have a seat at the table and a voice when it comes to these design standards is something that I know my constituents are going to be incredibly excited about. And I just also want to thank also Councilwoman Anthony. I think we heard a lot about this issue during the comprehensive planning process, and she took the ball and ran with it. And I think that Councilwoman Ryan also took the ball and ran with it even further, and we got to a solution that works for everyone. And I'm really excited to share this with all my neighbors and to thank you for your leadership. And I can tell you definitively, there are so many East Siders who are going to be so grateful that this piece of legislation was passed, hopefully, if everyone votes in support of it, due to your leadership. So thank you, Councilwoman Ryan.
Thank you. Further discussion? Councilman Davidson?
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, I just wanted to briefly echo what my colleague said. In my conversations with Councilwoman Anthony, I know this is very important to her, and I was very pleased to share information about it in my ward letter last week and got several notes back saying thank you. So I'm passing on the thank you of my constituents, and I think constituents all over Providence who care deeply both about development and making sure that our city retains its charm and beauty for decades and centuries to come. So thank you all for all of your work. We're going to really benefit from it.
Further discussion? Councilman Vargas?
Thank you very much. I echo my colleagues about these new changes. We're not going to have those boxes anymore. They're going to be a different approach when you see them. Might be more expensive, but it's going to look better than the one that we have now. And basically in the 33 is the most important one, where we change a bunch of zoning where people will be easy for them to build and to do changes in their properties without going to the hassle with the inspection building. So I urge the community to study these new changes so they won't be treated or people won't lie to them about the new changes. Please get advice, and we're doing these changes for the better of the city and make it more easy for the construction and the development people. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll.
The vote is open. Council President Miller.
Aye.
Deputy Majority Whip Anderbaugh. Councilor Davidson.
Aye.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Aye.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peterson. Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Aye.
Councilor Royas.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryan.
Aye.
Majority Whip Sanchez.
Aye.
Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ana Vargas.
Aye.
Councilman Oscar Vargas.
Aye.
That's 15 ayes. The motion passes. The matters 32 through 34 are passed for the first time on a roll call vote, and the vote is closed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 35.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 35 and pass on a voice vote.
Second, Madam President.
Any discussion on item 35? Hearing none.
I do.
Oh,
Madam President.
Pro Tem, please. Pro Tem.
I rise on 35. 35 is establishing the authority for the bridge, the Crook Point Bridge, the famous Point Bridge. And I just rise in essence that I know this was vetted through committee, but I also know that the state owns this bridge. And this is authorizing the authority. So if the legislature passes the transfer of that bridge to the city of Providence, is that correct? I just have that. That's the intent. And then my question is this the appropriate time to ask, in essence, you know, we're going to own a bridge. Do we have a fiscal note on this? How much is actually going to cost? And I get it, it may have some historical value and so forth, but we continue to struggle as a city with many things, and we all make arguments of financial standing for our city, but also for our residents. And I just think that receiving an entity like this is onerous, that at a certain point, the cost of doing something with it, whether it's knock it down or create a historical something with it, is going to be another cost to our city. So I am fond of also historical monuments and the beauty of our city. I find it very difficult to support an initiative like this. And so I will be voting no on this, not just because it's establishing that authority, but I just think that I cannot move forward and vote in favor of this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion on item 36? Councilman Taylor. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, go right ahead, sir.
I'll waive the floor to you.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I echo those sentiments. 5 years ago, I know I can say that Councilwoman Harris was in the PRA, and that came up as far as taking the bridge at that time. And I was against it then, and the reason I'm against it now, I'm a big historic buff, believe me. But I don't think that the city should be taking a liability, number one, because we all know there's been fires on that bridge. It's not a safe bridge. And God forbid if there's anybody in a canoe or boats or anything going underneath it, if we own it and the bridge collapses, now the city's in another lawsuit. So I don't think, I'll be voting no for this as well because, and like I said, I'm a history guy, but I think there's too many questions on the safety of the bridge. If someone could tell me that this bridge was safe, I heard that the Coast Guard deemed it unsafe. I don't know that for a fact, but until I can get proof that it's a safe bridge, which I don't believe it is, I think we're only opening up ourselves for a lawsuit down the road, either to A, fix it, or B, God forbid if something happened to it. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilwoman Peterson?
No,
Okay.
You want to go first?
yes, please.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Thank you. Madam President, thank you so much. I just wanted to clarify that I chair the Committee on Ordinance, and this is one of those items that was introduced and vetted during my absence. But I do trust the committee members that were there, that they done their due diligence, and they did pass it and send it over to us. I have full faith in the work that they did. And I also, understanding that the administration was present, that they were questioned, that they had a presentation on it, and that it all checked out. So I'll just defer to my vice chair who ran the meeting, Councilwoman Peterson. Thank you.
Vice Chair Peterson.
I apologize, my memory is not that great, so I'm going to try and remember everything that happened in that moment. If I'm not mistaken, as part of the presentation, the administration had come forward requesting support for the resolution up at the General Assembly to build a body that would help us, mayoral appointments of 3, I believe, to establish a group of people that are going to help us decide what's going to happen with the bridge. That money has already been, if I'm not mistaken, appropriated. Please don't quote me. You have to go back and look at the video because I can't remember what I did yesterday. But this money, whether or not it's being used for if it wasn't going to be used for the bridge, it was going to be then supported with another project at India Point Park. So regardless of anything, there was going to be an opportunity to have something funded within the city of Providence, whether it be the authority that, whether it be this project or something else over at India Point Park. So I want to make sure that, you know, a little bit more context is given to this, but from my understanding, this very specifically was just supporting the opportunity to create a body to then discuss what's going to happen with the Crook Point Bridge.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Further discussion? Councilwoman Ryan.
Please, thank you very much, Council President. I was at that meeting, and Crook Bridge is, Crook Point, I can't even say it, Bridge is a historic landmark for the city of Providence. I support this resolution, and I support encouraging a commission to take responsibility for figuring out the best way to manage and handle the bridge going forward. The monies that were transferred or allocated to that from the state, it was upwards of $6 million transferred to, I think you had mentioned India Point Park. So those funds, basically, $6 million came into the city of Providence from the state. I'm welcoming those funds. I think we all are. But the important thing is, this is just creating an authority. It is not, we're not talking about spending any money or any, you know, expenses. We're actually earning money. There's no fiscal note response needed or required for this resolution because it's not impacting our budget. It's positively impacting our budget. There's not an expense to our budget. So that's what we're voting on tonight. It's keeping a historic structure in our city alive and giving it the opportunity. This authority will have the ability to make decisions and put together a plan for the future that we'll have an opportunity to vote on. And if there's a cost, there'll be a fiscal note associated with that. But I think it's a good thing, and I support it.
Councilman Vargas, did you have your hand up? Did I miss you before?
Yeah, you want to go first, Councilman Sanchez?
I just have a question, Madam President.
Being very polite tonight. Yes, Councilman Sanchez.
We like polite Councilman Vargas. Just a question, and I'm sorry that I was not in attendance of this committee hearing, but I think the only question that really needs to be answered for myself to support it or not is, and it sounds like we don't assume any liabilities by supporting this legislation. I don't know if anyone could answer that, but it seems like that's the case, because I think that is a valid concern that my colleague, Councilman Taylor brought up, is we don't really want to assume any unnecessary possible liabilities by taking this project on.
Anyone?
I'm
like
happy to
that?
answer.
Yeah, I can also, but go ahead, Councilman.
But also the other two people that were there can chime in at any time. Based on what I'm recalling from that meeting, there was no additional fiscal responsibility on behalf of the city for this. This was literally just to create an authority to figure out what we're going to do going forward.
Councilman Goncalves.
Thank you, Madam President. And I can also provide some context here. So if we go back to the last administration when Elorza was in office, there was a design review competition where we were trying to re-envision what the Crook Point Bridge would look like. If you go into any coffee shop or any local store, this bridge is really a landmark for the city of Providence. You see it on mugs, you see it on memorabilia that is basically celebrating our city. And to Councilor Peterson's point, this is just creating a commission. It's similar or analogous to like the I-95 commission, which is quasi-public, which would give them the authority to review what would happen next. Ultimately, similar to what Elorza was trying to do last term when they were trying to re-envision what that could look like, there are a lot of great ideas about how to reactivate that space to make it more welcoming. And our federal delegation actually had earmarked $6 million to demolish the bridge. But after a lot of pushback and also just the interest of trying to re-envision that space, maybe making it a kayak launch or maybe lighting it up, this is the best mechanism to consider what the next steps would be. And we all know, again, this is a landmark in the city of Providence. I know for people in Fox Point who can see this in their backyard, this is something that's very nostalgic for them. I remember even when I was a kid, I always used to relish it, like, what is that thing and why is it like in the position that it's in? And similar to us not wanting to lose the Superman building, it would be a really, it would be like missing a front tooth if the Crook Point Bridge was demolished. So again, this is just establishing an authority to kind of look at what the next steps are, and everything else that my colleagues mentioned, I think very much clarifies that. So I hope that's also helpful for you, Pro Tem Pichardo.
Thank you. Councilman Vargas.
Thank you, Madam President. So, talking about the Crook Point Bridge. That's what it is. It's a piece of metal in the middle of the river. So this authority is just to hold off on the $6 million, because if we don't create that, they will demolish the bridge. That's according to the information that we got from the administration when she testified. If we don't get this, say goodbye to the $6 million. That's the only reason that we're getting this, and we need approval from the state to have the authority, and then from there we're going to start again thinking what we can do with the bridge, if we want it or we give it back to them. We don't want to own a piece of metal. Maybe we can sell it for junk, but has different vision for that Fox Point community. And we're looking for the vision, we're looking for the $6 million, because we can do a lot with it. Including we can decorate the bridge, put some lights and put some American flag, and we can use it for different flags. It's a good idea, So we ask my colleagues to support this. This is not to own a bridge. It's just to start a new vision, a group of people with new ideas how we can create and do with $6 million. Thank you.
Further discussion on item 35. Councilman Reyes.
Madam President, I feel like I have to speak now because everyone has spoke on this. No, just kidding. I just want to add one small detail as we try to recall that meeting. That $6 million, if it's RIDOT will transfer it to, I don't think this was mentioned, to the cruise infrastructure in that area. And so that's where it will go. I just wanted to add that detail.
Thank you. Councilman Taylor.
Just want to clarify because I'm going back 5 years, and I know that in the PRA it was mentioned, because he actually clicked a button that I remember. It was the city wanted to buy it for $1. Is that part of this authority at all?
You're making me want to go back and
Because I
review,
remember
but
the
no,
lighting
that is
thing,
not to my
because we
knowledge,
were
no.
voting at the time, we were voting on the Lamar lighting, for the signs, if you can remember. And there was a big thing, and I'm like, well, one of the big things that they did was we wanted to buy the bridge for $1 and then light it up with LED lights. And I'm like, well, what's the difference between an LED light on a bridge and an LED light on a sign? But we were going to buy it for $1. I'm against that because we're buying into liability. But if that's not part of this, then I'm going to change and I'll vote for it. But I want to make sure that we don't end up with the responsibility of a piece of junk and then the thing falls in and kills somebody and then we own the lawsuit. I just want to make sure that's not part of this authority.
Council President, if I could just answer that. I'm so sorry, Councilman Taylor. I do not, there was no discussion of purchasing this for $1 in any context at the time that we had this meeting. All it was addressing the establishment of a commission to figure out what we're doing going forward.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I was trying to refer, maybe we do, maybe it is time to go to iPads. I was trying to refer to the resolution to pull that out for you. It is absolutely, it is a fundamentally different proposal than the one that you referenced that I remembered as soon as you said it.
Okay, well, I just wanted, then I will change my vote to a yes, because as long as that is, we're not even voted yet, but I will be voting for it as long as that is not in there where we buy it for $1 and take on the responsibility of that. So, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for clearing that up.
Pro Tem Pichardo.
Thank you for that clarification, and also, again, because we rely on committees, and we could, sometimes we can't make those committees, so just inquiring. Just to add, in essence, that while I recognize the information that's been provided, I mean, at the end of the day, one, the liability, if this is being transferred over through the piece of legislation, because that's what we're, the resolution says the City Council urges passage of this legislation, creating, Cook Point Bridge authority that would be responsible for the development and maintenance of this city landmark in the public interest. So all I highlight is this, again, thank you, is that at a certain point, that entity is going to be transferred over to the city. That's correct. That's a fact. Two, the authority would have that responsibility to look at what the options are once it gets transferred over. It's an entity that we're going to own the liability. We know we are self-insured. And so the other is, yes, there's a caveat to that, that as it's been presented, that the state, RIDOT, is going to send to the city $6 point some million to work within those parameters in that area. So all my argument is that, here we go, we're taking on another asset for the city for whatever reason it is. It is for historical purposes. But I bring it to the floor is that we make the arguments that we are, you can't find funds for schools. We can't find, we complain about the taxes. Along the line, in order, if that commission, if that authority decides that we need to demolish that bridge, it's going to cost us money. Or even the development is going to cost us money. That's my argument, and I'm still not convinced that we should go that route. Thank you.
Thank you, Pro Tem. Hold on 1 second. Mr. Solicitor, do you want to clarify anything in this discussion? Just, please.
Okay. And I'll be clear, I'm not weighing in on the policy discussion being had of whether taking the bridge itself is good or not. But what is before the council tonight is a resolution in support of state legislation. And that state legislation would not be to transfer the bridge, it would be to establish an authority that could then assume ownership of the bridge if other steps are taken. But it's just, this legislation is merely to create an authority which could subsequently be able to take possession of the bridge. Of course, there would have to be steps in between this legislation and that happening.
Does not grant them that authority.
No, it does not transfer this is, again, just to support state legislation, and that state legislation that you'd be encouraging the Assembly to support does not result in a transfer of the bridge's ownership. There's steps removed in between that legislation and the bridge being transferred.
Thank you. Councilor Goncalves.
Thank you, Madam President. And Solicitor Dana, if I can ask you another question that I think would help everybody here. So when we have a quasi-public authority, so for example, like the I-95 Redevelopment District Commission, which is established by the state, that's an independent authority from the City of Providence, correct?
Yes, it's created by statute, and it is independent of the city.
Exactly. So this authority would be quasi-public in a similar vein It's not the city per se, it's a separate authority, correct?
Well, yes, it's different from the I-195, but it would be a quasi-municipal authority established by state statute, correct?
And as a result, it's separate from, let's say, the city as an entity. It's an independent authority, correct?
Yes, it would be its own unique authority.
Yeah, so I'm just sharing that to clarify, because it's independent from the city, and it's not like transferring everything, all the liability to the city. So thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you. Councilman Taylor.
I feel like I'm in a court and I'm confused here. But, okay, so if we say I vote yes, am I voting that this is going to end up in our hands, that we own the bridge, and if something happens? Or is there, I understand there's steps each way. Well, I'm going by what Councilman Pachado, maybe he knows something more that I don't know, because that's how I read it, was eventually, and I'm going back 5 years, it was like, we're going to buy it for $1. Well, it sounds like now we might get it for free. I don't want to pay $1 or get it for free until we find out if it's safe, because we're going to get a liability. But now I'm confused with all this back and forth. And I apologize, so maybe I'm just...
It's okay. I think, why don't we actually, without opinion, fundamentally, when the state legislature, if the state legislature passes this bill, can you speak to exactly what that means for the ownership of the bridge if this bill passes?
Technically, nothing. The legislation just creates an authority that could potentially, theoretically, assume ownership of the bridge.
But that would require further.
It would require further steps. So this is not an ordinance.
No, but does it require further voting is what I'm saying. In other words, it goes to the General Assembly. The General Assembly says, Providence wants it, get rid of that thing. We don't want it because it's not safe. And we're like, oh yeah, we got a bridge, we can put lights on it. And then all of a sudden, the bridge falls off into a cruise ship or a boat, and the people get killed, and we're like, oh, geez, what do we do? Like, that's where I'm going with this. I'm confused. I apologize, but I'm muddied the water here.
That's very descriptive. But it's just, again, creating an authority, so a quasi-municipal authority, that could subsequently decide to take ownership of the bridge. But there would be further steps that it would need to take to be able to do that. This legislation that you
But further steps that would come back to us that we vote on, or the General Assembly just goes, oh, they want it, give it to them?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
Would you be able to read the resolution in, thank you, that way?
No, I read the resolution, and that's just as muddy,
doesn't
that's just
answer
as muddy as everybody here.
But it's not, it
No,
doesn't.
but I'm saying that when it goes to the General Assembly, it seems like we want to get the $6 million. We need that $6 million. We got to get the $6 million. Now, we get the $6 million. Let's say it does transfer to us. We get the $6 million. We want to do all these nice little benches and trees and everything over there. Well, we got this big bridge there. So we bring all the people, and we have this big festival, and the bridge falls and kills everybody. Well, that's what I'm thinking in my head.
No, I get it.
Because it's not safe. That's my thing.
Let's just take a brief.
I apologize.
pause here.
I apologize.
No.
But I want to, before I vote on something, I want to kind of
Okay,
be clear.
Councilman Peterson and
Thank you. No,
okay.
we don't even have to jump to that. That's literally all we're doing is saying, hey, 3 people that are appointed by the mayor, you get to figure out what's going to happen here, make recommendations, and then you have to bring them back. There is nothing here in this resolution that says anything about establishing additional things that are going to happen. So I do ask that we just, if you could just please read this resolution, just so that we're all on the same page, because I don't necessarily know that everybody has the resolution.
Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Whereas the Crook Point Bridge, which spans the Seekonk River, is an iconic feature of the Providence skyline, as it has famously been fixed in the upright position since its last usage in 1976. And whereas the Department of Transportation's plans to demolish the bridge were halted 6 years ago after overwhelming community feedback asked for the bridge to be maintained and preserved. And whereas Community affection for the Crook Point Bridge has led to its image appearing on merchandise representing the city of Providence, much of it sold by local artists and vendors, and even the logo of a local youth baseball league. And whereas the Crook Point Bridge is a historic landmark in its own right as the only remaining bridge of its type in Rhode Island and one of the only remaining bridges of its type in the country. And whereas the Crook Point Bridge is located next to important outdoor community amenities such as Gano Park, the Fox Point Community Garden, and a paved path for walking and biking. And whereas the pedestrian bridge bridge across the Providence River was similarly preserved by the city with great success and utility to local residents. And whereas 5 years have passed since the Department of Transportation announced a preliminary agreement with the city of Providence to transfer control over the bridge. Now therefore be it resolved that the Providence City Council hereby supports and urges passage of legislation creating a Crook Point Bridge Authority that would be responsible for the development and maintenance of this city landmark in the public interest. And now therefore be it further resolved that upon passage, a copy of this resolution be sent to President of the Senate Valerie J. Lawson, Speaker of the House Joseph Shikarchi, and the members of the Providence and East Providence delegations.
Okay, Councilwoman Ryan.
Just a
yeah.
point of clarification, if I may. I was at that meeting. I did listen intently. I was very excited about this resolution. And just to go back in time, and not as far back as 5 years, as my colleague has, there was $6 million in the state budget to demolish this bridge. The administration went and built an agreement and put a plan together to save the bridge and establish an authority that is going to oversight this bridge. That's it. It's a separate entity. It's not us. There's no fiscal note because it isn't an expenditure to the city. We got $6 million that was going to be used to demolish the bridge given to the city of Providence. It's going to be directed, as my colleague aptly noted, to the cruise ship area. It'd be well utilized. So this is a win-win. It preserves a historic piece of property that there's a lot of passion. We heard my colleague from the east side speak to it. He grew up there. I'm certainly well aware and feel strongly about the historic value of this bridge. So all this does is create an authority. As the vice chair of ordinance stated, it was vetted in committee, and that's what we're voting on tonight. Should this authority, at some point down the road, make a plan or put a plan together to do something with it that is going to impact the city of Providence or require funds from the city of Providence, we'll have the opportunity of voting on it then. Then there'll likely be a fiscal note. But that's not what we're voting on tonight. It is simply a resolution to create this authority. That's all. And the agreement was made that gives us the $6 million that was going to be basically used to demolish the bridge. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Graves? Okay. Any further discussion? Any further questions? Don't. I know. Questions are great. Any further discussion? Why am I asking? Here we go. Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is now closed. You have 14 ayes, 1 nay. The motion carries. The matter is passed on a voice vote.
Thank you, councilors. Item 36.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 36 and pass for the First time on a roll call vote.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on item 36? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll.
The vote is open. Council President Miller.
Aye.
Deputy Majority Whip Vanderbaugh. Councilor Davidson.
Aye.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Aye.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peterson.
Aye.
Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Aye.
Councilor Royas.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryan.
Aye.
Majority Whip Sanchez. Councilman Taylor. Councilwoman Ana Vargas.
Aye.
Councilman Oscar Vargas.
Aye.
You have 15 ayes. The motion carries. The matter is passed for the first time on a roll call vote. Councilman Gonzalez and Councilman Espinal.
Someone who has been a part of her organization or has been a beneficiary of her organization. They always sing her praises and are just so grateful for the ways that they've been able to develop and contribute to our community. So I just want to thank Lisa for her leadership, because I just feel like you deserve more and more praise for all the ways that you empower people. And again, I want to thank Councilwoman Graves for being a strong steward of this and making sure that this got across the finish line. So thank you, Councilwoman Graves. Thank you, Lisa Ranglin, for all that you do.
Thank you, Councilman. Further discussion on item 37? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll. Who did I
Madam
miss?
President, I think Councilwoman Graves wanted to speak.
Oh. Please, yeah, of course.
Okay. I just want to say that this has been a long road, and I think that Councilman Gonzalez said it all. Lisa has been fighting this fight for a long time for so many people, not just blacks, but just people in the community, the minorities, the people that are struggling, the young people, the people at the small businesses. She has always been out there. She volunteered her time for 10 years, not getting paid, doing this job. You know, and she has a staff that is fabulous, and they struggle each and every day, and they're struggling now. But they make sure that they do the best that they can for as many people as they can. And their integrity is phenomenal. They do it out of, not just for the money, they do it because of, they know the need that is out there. They do it because they want to see the people do better. They want to see people make it. And they see it all the way through, from the beginning to the end. They're there with those people all the way. So all I can say is I am proud of her, and I'm proud of my colleagues that have stuck by me throughout the whole time, fighting to get this through. So thank you, Lisa, for being here. Thank you to her staff if they're here, and thank you to the board, because she has a fabulous board also. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Vargas.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to say thank you, Lisa. When I have my business, I knocked the door to Lisa, and she helped me very, very well. So I only want to say thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion, item 37, Councilwoman Peterson.
I just also want to echo everything that everybody's saying, but also just talk a little bit on a personal note of what I've seen the staff Lisa's staff and everybody do that was transformational for families and for businesses here. Often we don't get a chance to see the individual successes of our small businesses, and I was able to see that firsthand with so many of the members in the organization. So I just wanted to just draw attention to just the amount of work that's done with a really small staff and a lot of hope and a lot of perseverance. It's unmatched is really what it is, and I'm really, really happy that I've been able to see that flourish, not only with where they started over at Regency, but now with their building. It's the example that we need to be showing the rest of our city of how we can continue to help each other grow. So thank you, Lisa and team.
Thank you. Further discussion? Councilman Garcia.
I'll keep it quick. I saw Larissa Span too here, so I want to say thank you to her because it's a team effort. And Lisa, is there anybody else I'm missing? Yeah, I don't know your gut. Yeah, can we all just stand? Because I think it's where are they? All right, yeah, let's give it up for them. Sorry, not trying to make it longer, but thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Further discussion? Not missing anyone. Okay, Madam Clerk, please open the vote and call the roll.
The vote is open. Council President Miller.
Aye.
Deputy Majority Whip Anderbaugh. Councilor Davidson.
Aye.
Majority Leader Espinal.
Aye.
Senior Deputy Majority Leader Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilwoman Graves. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peterson. Council President Pro Tempore Pichardo.
Aye.
Councilor Royas.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryan.
Abstain?
Majority Whip Sanchez. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ana Vargas.
Aye.
Councilman Oscar Vargas.
Aye.
You have 14 ayes, 1 abstention. The motion carries. The matter is passed on a roll call vote.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And please, councilors, allow me to take a moment of personal expression. I'm not, as the chair, meant to be in the debate, so just let me take a moment. Because of my day job, I get to work, I have the great honor of working with men and women across the city of Providence who are building businesses from the ground up as minority and women contractors in an industry that is very difficult, is very challenging, and there's very few resources available to them. And I know that Reba has been there for many, many, many of our graduates. I hear it firsthand. I see it in their success stories. So I want to just also lend my voice in thanking you for the work you do every day. And item 38.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 38, pass on a voice vote and refer back to the Board of Contract and Supply.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on item 38? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
Councilor Reyes, Councilwoman Graves. The vote is closed. 15 ayes, the motion carries. The matter is passed on a voice vote and will be referred back to Board of Contract and Supply.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 39.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 39 and receive and approve.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on item 39? Councilman Vargas.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise and echo to support, and I'm very proud that he got choose to keep serving the community. I know Ryan Hall for more than 5 years now. He's a great asset to this special department, and he will do a great job there. Congratulations.
Thank you, Counselor. Further discussion, item 39?
Madam President?
Pro Tem Pichardo.
I too rise in support of Ryan Holt as an attorney and also at the State House for many years and really involved in the community. Really a smart person, especially being in the zoning board. He will be a tremendous asset. So congratulations, and we look forward to your continued service in our capital city, Providence. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Goncalves.
Thank you. I just want to be the third person to echo this, and I also just want to acknowledge Mr. Greenfield, who has done an extraordinary job as the chair of the Zoning Board of Review, and Ryan Holt is a perfect person to be a successor and to continue that work. So we're so grateful for your service, Ryan. Thank you for all that you do.
Madam President, thank you. I also rise in support of the nomination of Ryan Holt to be the chair of the Board of Review. Knowing his quality of work, I think it'll be a great asset. It will do well for our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? All right, Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
Vote is open. The vote is closed. You have 15 ayes. The motion passes. The matter is received and approved.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Hull, thanks for joining us tonight. Congratulations. Thanks for your service. Item 40. Oh, please, yes. Item 40.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 40 and pass on a voice vote.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on item 40? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is now closed. You have 15 ayes. The motion carries. The matter is passed on a voice vote.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we move to item 41, I would like to take a moment of personal expression with some bittersweet news that I think most counselors know already, but one of our staff is moving on. This is her last meeting with the council. She'll be here with us for another week. Is going on to, Isabella, sorry, not to keep everyone in suspense, is going on to law school and to get to live abroad, which more importantly, I really just want to take a moment to thank you and recognize you for the remarkable work you've done for the council. I'm sure that your brain and fingers were part of many more pieces of legislation that I'm aware of, but got to work with you on the CPRA and many other things. That work was invaluable, right? Like, this is a moment when a city government is standing on the side of our residents in the face of really horrific consequences. And so I was so proud to work with you on that. I was so proud to have your help. We in the council are grateful to you, and I just want to let everyone know that you're going on to good things, and you better stay in touch. Thank you. Councilor Sanchez.
Thank you, Madam President. I also just want to echo everything that you said about Isabella. Isabella definitely set the bar very high for our policy team, our wonderful team, obviously led by Aaron. Isabella worked on so many different things, and just the amount of attention and detail and compassion as a staffer to every issue, from homelessness to gun violence to immigration, literally all of the priorities that we care about, everything with the CPRA. I'm so proud. Obviously, it hurts a little bit, Isabella, but as younger people, I'm excited to see all the contributions that you're gonna continue to provide to our society. And of course, I'm sure to speaking for all of us, if there's anything that we can do for you ever, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, I'm sorry, Councilman Goncalves.
Thank you, Madam President. I really want to stop talking, but it's like so hard not to what's that? You're distracting me here. So it's, but it's really hard not to say thank you to Isabella for just all that she's done throughout this term. And, you know, I have the wonderful honor of knowing her brother, Dominic, who has been so helpful and instrumental. And, like, they're just, her family's so wonderful. Like, everything I know about them is just so amazing. And we're just so, so grateful for all the work that you've done for this body. And just wishing you the best as you move on to your next journey. And I'm sure all 15 members of the body would be happy to write letters of recommendation for whatever you decide to do. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Madam Clerk, item 41, please.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 41 through 49.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Madam Clerk, please refer 41 to the Committee on Ordinances, 42 to claims and pending suits, and 43 through 49, note as received.
So noted.
Item 50.
Madam
Oh,
President,
I'm sorry, Councilwoman Vargas. Did you want to speak?
right after.
Right after. Okay, item 50. Thank you.
Motion to waive the reading of item 50 and pass on a voice vote.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Councilwoman Vargas.
Thank you for the opportunity tonight for that. Give it to the personal expression. I doing right? Good.
Yes.
So tonight we have the special guests for the College of Action and Education. I bring in my t-shirt because I support that. But when you have education, is the kids can open any door can you study. So that's the reason I bring in my t-shirt. I have a citation for the beautiful people can have it here. You can stand up, please. Okay. Wow.
Oh, they're all here.
I want to say congratulations all and continue to education and, you know, be a proud for your kids and your families and also the organization can do that so we can go forward. And the nights, please, college, don't go. We can have some picture for the group and then we can continue. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Graves.
If I can get up. Okay, I don't usually stand anyway, so. I also have a point of expression. Personal, whatever it is. Next Wednesday, as you know, is going to be Black History Month celebration here in the Chambers. Next Wednesday night, it starts at 5:30 downstairs with the mayor, and then we're going to boogie on up here, and we're going to finish it off here in the Chambers. We're going to have a couple of speakers, a couple of singers, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So I hope you're all going to come and celebrate with us. We decided to do it at the end of the month because last time we just had so many things going on. We wanted to get all the rest of that stuff out the way so we could really end it with a bang. So please come out and join us.
Looking forward to it. Councilors, I'm sorry, I think I jumped the gun. Did we vote on item 50? Okay.
Not
so
yet.
I apologize for that.
Not yet.
Okay. Any further discussion on item 50? Hearing none. All in favor? Oh, go ahead.
No. I'd just like to briefly also rise and thank Councilwoman Vargas for being so thoughtful about the Rhode Island education and the program that they have with EduChamp. I'd like to personally thank each and every one of them for the time that they take to prepare today for the future of tomorrow. And Mr. Victor Capellan, who is also here, so thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to the Black History Month celebration. Thank you.
Likewise. Pro Tem Ricardo.
Personal expression? All right.
Okay. Any further discussion on item 50? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Pro Tem Ricardo.
Thank you, Madam President. And I'm going to combine a couple since we're almost finishing up. First, congratulate my good friend Victor Capellan with his Education Collective for being here and also championing bringing parents together to really be the forefront of education. We've been doing that for over now 40 years. And I know that education is a big item for us in our chambers, and is part of that mix to make sure that our kids get the first-class education in our city of Providence. I also want to congratulate all the edu-champs from the collective, teachers and leaders in the community that are personal people and people that I know that are teachers in our public schools like Mount Pleasant High School and even in charter schools. So congratulations for completing and being education champs here in our capital city. So congratulations. Second is to Lisa. Lisa, you know, your passion has always transcended communities because we all know that in the city of Providence, we are like 97% micro businesses. And that's what fuels our economy. And with your leadership at REBA, along with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, with Urban Venture, that's the engine that actually keeps our neighborhoods really in the forefront, and we have to continue to support our micro business that we call small business. But the reality is that we're all in that mix of entrepreneur micro businesses, and we don't use that term. But the reality is that businesses are 5 employees or less and are struggling. And so we have to make sure that we pay attention to that. And then lastly, and I also want to recognize Andy McManus, who's back there too, who's also worked with Victor Capellan and his team to ensure that parents are engaged and showing up at the State House and here. And so we are grateful for your service. And lastly, I don't know if, as we conclude, we want to ensure that at least we remember an icon that just passed away. And that is, I'm sure, that is the bishop and activist and a person that really marked our history to give us that hope that our voice really matters. And I know perhaps my colleagues are going to speak, and that is the Reverend Jesse Jackson. So with that said, I hope that we can, I'm not sure if it's on the roster to make sure that
we have it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Council, item 51, please.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reader item.
51.
That's right. We have a misprint. Apologies here. So it's motion to waive the reader item 51 and pass in a unanimous rising vote.
Second, Madam President.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Madam
opposed?
President.
Any abstentions?
Oh,
Yes.
so
Councilman
sorry. I
Reyes.
was going to request a point of personal expression when it was.
Now is the time.
Thank you very much. Before we conclude, and this may have been in the majority leader's remarks, but I just wanted to make sure that I pay my condolences and use this platform to keep in mind the folks who were impacted in the recent mass shooting in Pawtucket. And so my thoughts are with the victims, and I especially want to just publicly state that I work, this is public now, so I feel comfortable sharing, but I've worked closely with one of the victims impacted by the shooting. His name is Tom Geruso, and he happens to be my assistant principal at Shea High School, where I work as a social worker. And Tom is currently receiving medical care, and I just want to just state publicly that I am rooting for him, and I hope he pulls through. Tom is a dedicated educator in Pawtucket, amazing principal leader. He has poured so much into the students in Pawtucket, beloved by everyone, and I just have the honor of working with him every day. And so I'm praying for him every day, and I hope for a full recovery. Thank you.
Thank you, and we all are, Counselor. Thank you. Majority Leader.
Madam President, Motion to suspend Rule 16B of the Rules of the City Council in order to take a matter not appearing on the printed docket.
Second, Madam President.
Any discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? The motion passes. Item 52.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
motion to waive the reading of item 52.
Second, Madam President.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Please note 52 as received.
So noted.
Madam President, at the appropriate time? Personal expression real quick?
Sure.
I was amiss that also in our audience is Renee Omizori, who was also reappointed to the Board of Canvassers. She's been honorably serving our city of Providence, so congratulations to her and her husband, Harold Omizori. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Madam President?
Councilor Anderbaugh, yes.
Sorry, very quick point of personal expression, and I'm sure this is in the Majority Leader's final remarks, but I also just want to take a moment to recognize the two individuals, a mother and son, who passed away in my ward, who froze to death in the cold outside of Miriam Hospital, about 2 blocks from where I live, surrounded by homes that were warm and welcoming and about 100 feet from the entrance of Miriam, and it breaks my heart and it breaks the heart of many of the folks in my neighborhood, and these are preventable deaths, and I think I join all of my colleagues in committing ourselves to working harder to ensure none of our neighbors die on the street.
Thank you.
Madam President, has been a tough week as we mourn the loss of that terrible tragedy on nearby and beloved sister of Pawtucket. We extend our deepest condolences to the victims and everyone involved. And also with the loss of our giant that many of us stand on, Mr. Reverend Jesse Jackson. So to their family, our condolences, and under their name, motion to adjourn.
Second, Madam President.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? We are adjourned. There's a lot of guests here to take some pictures, so I know we want to bring Felix forward to take pictures.